Alright, so what's going on, guys? So we back in the garage for day one of the Eclipse teardown. Now I figure I'm going to go ahead and start in the interior because most of this stuff just comes off of Phillips head screws. And it's a lot of small part stuff I should be able to get shipped out quickly when it sells. So I did go ahead and get started. I just got the center console out. So again, that's what the underneath. Of course, I've got my inspector here. Always being nosy. And of course, I'm setting everything over here. So here's the entire center console. Now in case you're wondering, this whole thing kind of comes off really in two pieces.
Ready to connect.
This piece just pulls out, and then underneath it, there's going to be some screws. There's like one in this corner, there's one in that corner, and one up here, and then one over here. You take those out, and then you can just pull on this, and the whole thing comes out. There's like 4 screws to hold the center console on. And then of course the shift knob you just grab and twist. And next I'm going to remove the second part of the center console. Just slide this back. Then with that, it's out. And it looks like I got some change in here. So I'm already on my way to recouping my money. Also got like some mold or something in here. That's nasty. Look at that. You can see that these cars use a cable system where you have your shifter, and then from your shifter you have these cables that run to the transmission. My next step is I'm trying to get this center console out, and in there I've actually got a little bit more change. Well, that didn't take long. I broke it. I broke the center console. I was pulling on top up here. I got it pretty much off, and the thing just snapped off. Look how thin that is. So this whole dash is plastic. It's pretty much plastic. Fortunately, I'm not trying to keep anything, but I want to try to keep, my broken parts down to a minimum so I could, again, try to sell as much of this stuff as possible. This whole thing is just falling apart on me. Like, it broke even more down in here. It's the crack. Like, this, turn that off. This whole piece is just plastic. And it came loose on that side. We just be pulling behind it. But for some reason, when I do the same thing on this side, it doesn't. Oh, and now I see why. There's actually a screw right here I didn't see. That might be the reason everything's falling apart on me. And of course, I'm keeping all my screws in one of these little magnetic trays that I got from Harbor Freight for free. Gotta look. Alright, and I guess once you take all the screws out, it comes off a lot more easily without anything broken. Take this off. And unfortunately, because I broke like half of the top of this thing, it's gonna have to go in the trash. But I may be able to sell these little vents here. Look at this. So check this ring out that was in there. Wonder what all that means. If you have any idea, let me know. Alright, so I got most of the dash off, and I'm getting ready to take the steering wheel out. And this is similar on a lot of cars. When I take the steering wheel out, there's 2 Torx bits on the side of the steering wheel. So you can see what I got done on the dash. Center console. Underneath that. Glove box out. But what I was talking about is right in here. It's a Torx bit on this side, and of course one on the other side. That'll allow the airbag to come out. And then behind the airbag, there's gonna be another nut that actually holds the physical steering wheel on. And that's it. It's got 2 wires. Boop. And there's your airbag. Now this is the nut I was talking about. That is the only other thing holding this steering wheel onto the car. So I ran into a bit of a dilemma. Doesn't seem like this is gonna cut it. So I'm gonna try this. See how well this works. It's all the difference having the right tool makes. That's out. And now we have one steering wheel. But of course, I'm gonna put this back on because I might need to move the car later, and that'll be difficult without a steering wheel. So next, I'm gonna move on to the seats. And again, this is a pretty standard affair. We're gonna slide the seat all the way back, and there's gonna be 2 nuts in each corner of the seat rail. Now, depending on your car, you might have some wires under there, but overall, it's gonna be a pretty simple setup. Let me get some light in here real quick. So that's a little bit better. So like I said, you're gonna have the bolt here. There's gonna be 1 in each corner. Again, this bolt's a 14 millimeter. It should come right off. That's 1. Now, more than likely, if you're doing yours, this is what you'll see. But it's just a cover. You just grab behind it, and it pulls off. You just see what the nut looks like. And we can slide the seat forward and do the same thing. And in the back is the same story. Just move this cover, just pull on it, comes off. And actually, got another dime. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove both covers. So I'm gonna take my 2 bolts and my dime, of course, and that's gonna be it. So you can see, the seat is completely free. And outside of it being really dirty underneath, really good to go to do whatever you want. So that's it. So it's pretty simple. So one thing to note, if your car has airbags on the side of the seat, make sure your battery is disconnected first. And it is extremely unlikely that they'll blow, but it can happen, so just be careful. So the driver's seat's gonna be the same process. I'm gonna go ahead and get that done and be right back. So just like that, I've got the seats ready to come out the car. Now the hard part is actually just getting the seats out of the car because they are pretty cumbersome and it is a tight squeeze without messing anything up. But we'll get to that later. All right, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get the shifter rod. And this is a pretty simple disassembly process. You're gonna have 4 nuts and then actually remove, and then you're gonna have to remove the actual shifter cables from that. And that should just be like 2 cotter pins and maybe a couple wires, but we'll see how this goes down. So you can just follow them to where they're attached to the shifter base. And like I said, they're just gonna be these little pins that hold these, that hold them onto it. Like, so I may need a pair of pliers to get that clip out. So, here we go. Pull it out. That's what's holding it in here, just a little cotter pin. You can see that. And then with that, this should just slide off. Yep. And now that shifter cable is free. Push that back in there. Like, so this next one's a little bit different. It doesn't have a cotter pin like what I was used to, but it should have the same principle. So I think if I just slide it all the way back, I should be able to pull that little clip off and then it'll come out. Yeah, so that's actually easier than I thought. You can just push it back with your hand and it comes off. So this is the other one. This one you just pull back with your fingers. And now that's free. So I'm gonna push that back. Now I want to make sure I don't lose these. I'm sure these parts will be hard to find. So these are going to my magnetic tray. Now from the looks of it, just 4 bolts that come out. So let's get these removed and see what's next. And these are 14 millimeters, or these are 12 millimeters. There we go. It looks like the whole thing will lift up. I just have to move that wire out the way, take and disconnect the shifter cables up here, and push these back to the firewall, and I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so these shifter cables actually came off pretty easily. Really, I just lifted up on it, and they come out. So wiring harness out the way. All right, so now we should pull up and out. And there's your shifter assembly. Now, if you just happen to be doing like a short throw shifter install, you might want to check out these bushings. A lot of time, depending on the age of the car, these can be worn. You might want to replace those with either some like polyurethane ones or maybe even some metal ones. But these happen to be in pretty good shape. All right, so at this point, I'm pretty much done on the inside. I've got the seats unbolted, the steering wheel is loose, and the main parts of the shifter are actually unassembled. So the last thing I'm gonna do for the day is pop the hood and start getting the engine bay prepped for the engine removal. So thank you guys for watching my video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys later.